Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested. Happy Friday. I have a quick show and tell for you today. As you just saw, that was a time-lapse assembly of this model kit. It's a brick-based kit of the classic Astro Boy figure. I say brick-based because this is not Lego. This is yet another third-party brick system that's Lego compatible, but it's their own bricks that they make. This one's from Pantasy, and like some of the other third-party brick systems I've tested this past year, they work with officially licensed characters and original designs to create their own line of alternative dioramas and figures. In this case, a wonderful representation of Astro Boy, half mechanized, the mechanical clear version, which I really like. So as a kit to put together, it's 1,250 pieces, including a display base that this sits on. It takes about 4 hours to put together. For me, this main core Astro Boy part took 3 hours to put together, and really fun. The instructions are very clear. It comes together in modular components. So the core components are the torso, the limbs, his arms, his legs are all built separately, as well as his head, and then those all fit together at the end. And from an aesthetics perspective, I think they did a really great job designing it to show a studless side. So on the exposed skin side, if you will, none of the studs are showing. And for example, the arm here, really nicely done with the contours to have his forearms, his shoulder, and the fist here, I think is just really nicely done. So you can actually see all his fingers as well as his thumb in a very recognizable, but still cartoonish representation of an anime arm. His legs, the same thing. On the mechanical side, you have just the shiny metallic colored brick that makes up most of his internal skeleton. And Astro Boy's mechanical internal structure is well recognized and well known, and so you have the classic color scheme as well as things like his pistons, his iconic heart and eye here. All of that stuff is represented in brick form, I think in a very reasonable way. There's more articulation here than I expected. So over on his arm and his leg, you can actually see his knee bends, his elbow bends. You can actually position some of his fingers here on his mechanical side. Just enough articulation to get him so you can balance him without using the stand, but you're not going to be doing crazy action poses with this character. I was also really impressed with the torso and the head. I think those are wonderfully designed because even though there's this nice bifurcated line in the center dividing his internal structure and his external structure, it's actually built as one piece. So underneath here, this is very solid and stable, and the way they've been able to design it so it actually comes together and you're building it out, and then you have this skin on one side and all these greavies on the other side, just makes for a really fun build to see it all come together as you have these piles of the flesh-colored bricks on one side and all the shiny metal bricks on the other side, and then have it all fit together. The head especially. There's some printed on parts for the eyes and the eyebrow, so that's really nice. I love the ear design. That's one of my favorite parts. And the hair. I mean, you have anime hair, manga hair here represented in brick form, and even the mechanical side here with these 3 rods that come together at a point representing his hair. This version of the Pantasy set came with lights, so very similar to some of the brick lighting kits I've used in the past. And here there's an LED light that fit under his heart, as well as one that replaces a clear stud here on his eye. And then if you plug in the USB, you can see that the heart light actually is connected to a control board that then pulses that light. So it gives him a beating heart. And I can actually adjust the dial on that control board to change the speed at which the heart pulses. So you can have him beating just a little bit faster or slower if you want. A really delightful kit here, and you can find it online for well under $100. And so at 1,250 bricks, it does fall under that threshold of 10 cents per brick, it being a third-party license figure. I'll have links below to where you can find this one if you're interested. And if you have other alternative brick building sets you'd like for me to check out, please post them in the comments below. I'm always on the lookout to some original designs that are more accessible and more affordable than some of the other sets we've seen. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Hey guys, Adam Savage from Tested here. If you've ever seen the 6-inch ruler in inches and centimeters on my forearm and wanted one of your own, but you didn't want it to be permanent, well, today's your lucky day. You can now buy temporary tattoos of my measuring stick, my measuring forearm, at tested-store.com. Comes like this, goes on in about 30 seconds with a little water. The instructions are on the back. It comes off with rubbing alcohol, and hopefully it warms you up to the idea of permanently attaching a measuring device to your body, because I use mine every single day.